Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us for today's pre-match press conference ahead of the first Betway ODI between South Africa and Australia here in Bloemfontein. We are joined by ODI captain Temba Bavuma. As per the T20s, they will be hybrid press conferences, so we will look to start with those in the room before we do switch to those who are joining us online. For those online, please do raise your hand to indicate if you would like to ask a question. So who would like to start us off?
Hi Temba. Yeah, quite a big day yesterday, but now obviously the focus is shifting to the 5 ODIs. Have you guys had a look at the pitch yet? It's still very early in the year for cricket here in Bloemfontein and could be perhaps slow pitch tomorrow.
Yeah, we have had a look at the wicket. I think, like you said, it's a bit tricky for us to kind of determine what the wicket is going to play like. Generally here in Bloem is generally a good wicket. But I think you're looking at the times of the month we played, when we last played here in January, early Feb. It's obviously summer, it was a lot hotter. Whereas now, I guess we just into spring, wicket might play a bit differently. So I guess we'll just have to assess tomorrow and try adapt to whatever's in front of us.
And this ground here in Bloem is a huge ground. People don't always get that idea because of the smaller stands, but it's a bit of a two-sided coin. Easy to defend runs on, but also difficult for boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you say Bloem is a big ground, I think with all the cricket the guys play with T20 cricket, seems as if no ground is really big for the guys to clear the boundaries. Definitely a lot of twos and threes to be run. I think defending has become a bit tough if the wicket continues to play well. We know at night where generally skids on, so defending can be a bit tough. But yeah, I think the size of the boundaries, I think nowadays is not a big factor for these guys.
One of the things about the start of the T20 series was the fact that there were a lot of cobwebs to get out and rustiness among some of the players. You've got 5 very big players coming back. How do you go about avoiding that being the case when you guys start tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to your preparation. I think the days that we've had those conversations. We've encouraged ourselves, not encouraged, we've reminded ourselves in terms of the type of cricket that we want to play, reminded ourselves of all the good moments that we've had this year as a team, and I guess the challenge is for us to go out and match all those performances, those intensity and the style of play we've gone out to play as a team. Yes, there's guys as a team we haven't played in a while. I think that's no secret to anyone, but the responsibilities, they're still there as professional cricketers to still maintain our standard, but most importantly our intensity.
Is it a case of settling on an 11 for you over the course of these 5 matches, or do you want to give everybody a run across the series?
It's a bit of a balance, I think. I think the guys, like I said, guys who haven't been playing for a while, opportunity will be given to them. Probably more your batters to try get them into the right, I guess, mental and physical space. And then bowlers, I think we have a lot of options there from a seam point of view, even from a spin point of view. So I guess just getting the bowlers, getting time on their legs out there in the middle. For me, I think what is more important is just the synergy and the relationship between the bowlers out in the field, get that going again. But I think it's a balance of giving guys opportunity, but also trying to get momentum, looking at things going forward.
Do you guys see this as a start of the World Cup preparation? Last year the squad came together, this nice squad was built last year, but this is now closer to the World Cup. Is this the start of things to come for World Cup and changing and looking at stuff to do for World Cup?
Not necessarily, to be honest. I think our World Cup campaign, if I could call it, started probably beginning of this year, where we saw a couple of new faces coming into the team. guys who we saw playing certain roles within the team. Some guys have stayed, some guys unfortunately not there. Yes, this is obviously closer to the World Cup. It's our last series before the World Cup, so I guess there's a lot more of significance behind it, if I could say. But I think in terms of everything that we've done, our prep started a long time ago, and for us it's just a matter of continuing and challenging ourselves in terms of all the conversations that we've been having.
And cricket's pretty much confidence game. It's not the same squads playing as a T20, but there's some players again. But also, it's not a long time in between your last innings here. It's also going to give you confidence.
Yeah, I think confidence is a big thing. I think that's what we lean on as the players. You look at your good times and you try to replicate those good times. I guess you accept that those good times are, especially as a batter, are not as frequent as you would like. But I think, yeah, like you say, we've got good memories playing here in Bloemfontein. And we look forward to the good memories that potentially could come within the next 2 games here in Bloem.
Yesterday I spoke to Adam Zampa and he said he can't remember ever winning a match in South Africa. And we checked the stats, it's 8 in a row. So you think Australia will try and, they'll do some changes and give everyone a chance, but you think they will put that right, losing 8 in a row?
I'm sure they want to change that record. They're a proud nation, tough, aggressive nation to play against. So I'm sure they'll be wanting to change that, get it more in their favour. I guess it's for us to continue playing the good cricket that we have and make sure that that stays in our favour.
You're speaking about confidence now. How much confidence has Kesh got after that injury of his wonderful recovery? But, there was an ugly injury, one of those that can be very difficult. And his confidence is obviously going to be key going to the World Cup. Yeah,
Kesh is a massive player for us. Important member of our Brains Trust. And I think he's also a big source of inspiration for the guys. I don't think a lot of us saw a situation of Kesh being fit to play in this series where he was, ruled out for 8 to 9 months. He's come back in 5 months, I think. And I think all the work that he's put in behind closed doors, I think it's increased the respect that he's always held by our team. And so we're glad to have Kesh back, not just because of what he can do with the ball, but because of what he does as a leader. And I'm sure in terms of his confidence, his movements out in the field, that will just grow from strength to strength the more he's out there in the field. And I guess like all of us, getting time on his legs.
On another player, on Quinton, who I know you're quite close with, but what are your thoughts on his decision? How much did you guys share in conversations about what he was going to do, and how do you think it will, affect him over the next few weeks?
I think, I wasn't in the loop as per his thinking or decision. But I think, with Quinny, at times you can expect anything from Quinny at times. I think it doesn't change how we see the guy. It's always been a pleasure playing with Quinton from our under 15 days at school. Credible player, talented, too much talent, and he'll obviously be a big loss to South African cricket, at least in the ODI stuff. I think he's, for me personally, one of the guys that I lean on from a tactical point of view out on the field. Obviously now not having him within that space, he's going to be a bit of not a challenge, but it's something we'll have to overcome. He's obviously chosen his route. He's going to go the the T20 route, a format that he's succeeded quite well in, and I think all we can really do is wish him all the best. I must say, within this year, starting in January, it's probably been the freest I've ever seen him be, in and around the team, a lot more bubblier, always cracking jokes, starting banter within the guys. So I guess maybe from his point of view, he'd maybe made the decision a long time ago. It was more of a matter of finding the right time to I guess, let everyone know. And I'm sure for him, with everything that he's achieved as a player, and I think this probably speaks to a lot of guys within the group who are at a certain age. I think we'd like to do something as a team that hasn't been done within South Africa, and that is obviously to win the World Cup. And I guess there's no better way for him to kind of walk away from South African cricket having done that. But yeah, incredible career the guy's had. But I'm sure in the T20 stuff, he'll still be swinging his bat.
Thanks. We do have just a couple questions from those online. So we'll start with Nathan and then go to Neil.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Lucy, just beforehand, may I please ask 2 questions on the chart? One is cross and one in English, please.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye, maqale ngibulise bhuti man. Xa nizodibana ne-Australia nizofuna udlala kanjani? Inzima into besibona phaa kwi-T20.
Inkosi Nathan andibulise nam. Indlela sodlala ngayo akho mehluko kule ndlela besikhe sadlala ngayo uqala kulo nyaka kaJanuwari. Sithethe kakhulu ngoba sizodibana ne-England. Malunga ngendlela esodlala ngayo, sayenza laa nto besiyithethile. Nakulo mdlalo lona esizodibana ne-Australia sizozama ngelo hlobo. Siyibonile ke i-Australia ize nomfutho omninzi i-Australia. Ibalulekile ke thina ke singabadlali apha kwi-ODI singo-2 ke siyilindele laa nto. Sibe necebo, sibe nendlela yokubana sizokwazi ubagqitha njani xa bedlala ngehlobo labo. Kodwa akho nto ezotshintsha kwicala lethu, sizoqhubekeka ngeli hlobo besiqhubekeke ngalo kulo nyaka.
Enkosi. Temba, new kit, exciting times moving forward with Lotus Sport.
Yeah, exciting times. I guess the guys are always the happiest when they're having to get new kit. We like the new design of the kit. Yeah, we look forward to it and the partnership with the Lotto guys.
Thanks, Nathan. Neil?
Thanks, Lucy. Temba, there was a time a couple of years ago when pinch hitters were quite fashionable. They seem to have gone completely out of fashion now. I'm sure you can tell me what the reasons for that are. But I was wondering, I mean, you could end up with an 11 with kind of 3 hard-hitting number 9s. And I just wondered whether you had given thought to popping one of them up the order, whack a few boundaries in the power play or something like Cash or, I don't know, Sisanda.
To be honest, I haven't thought of that, Neil. I think the guys who have been batting in the top 6 at the moment, I think they've been hitting the ball quite well in the past performances that we've had. So I think I guess the spirit of continuity, we'll keep going with those guys. And I think those guys like Kesh, Sisanda, their role is probably more in the low order. I think it'll be important that they solidify and master their role. I think that's an area within our batting group where we'd like to be a lot more clinical. But I think within the top 6 and the guys who have been batting in the power play, we've been quite happy with what they've been producing in the last 6 to 10 games, if I could say.
Thanks, Neil, for those.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Temba. Temba, you just spoke about kind of the changing landscape with Quinny's retirement and being available in T20 formats. What's your opinion on how things are moving and kind of how contracts and schedules need to be juggled?
Yeah, it's become very dynamic. And I think it's important for, I guess, teams, international teams, to adapt to that ever-changing landscape and try find ways to, I guess, stay ahead of that trend. I think to credit to CSA in inclusion with SACA, they have taken note of that. There have been discussions around how we can, I guess, position ourselves a lot better in terms of the contracting of players and making sure that we still have access to our best players for the Proteas, but also not compromising on the players', I guess, financial earning ability outside of our own shores. That's the way the cricket is going, and I think gone are the days where, I guess, you are inflexible and you are fighting against that change. But like I said, I think credit can go to Cricket South Africa and SACA in terms of their flexibility and creativity in embracing that change.
Thanks, Fidos. We're going to take one last one from Dion.
Thank you, Lucy. Temba, congratulations on your first 50 over World Cup inclusion. Dion Govender, Metaverse Network Media here. Different region, different ball format. The matches leading up to the World Cup, the matches starting in Bloemfontein. It is going to be more than just a baptism of fire now. You've got your records to play for. Has the strategies changed? Has the player mindset changed? Has the desire to win changed?
Thanks. Yeah, I think there will be no surprises from our end in terms of what we expect from the Australian team. I think if the T20 is anything to go by, we expect them to come hard at us. And like I said earlier on, it will be important that we have tactics, we have solutions as to how we can counter all of that. I think as we all as well as a team, our focus will be more on ourselves in terms of what we want to do and how we want to do that, and we have confidence in that if we do that, the result will take care of itself.
Thanks, Dion, and thank you. Oh, do we have one last one in the room? Oh, sure.
Just want to update on Max Sisanda. Is it still too early for him?
Sisanda, well, I mean, I might as well release the team. So the team for tomorrow is myself, Quinton, no specific order, myself, Quinton, Rassi, Aiden, Klossy, Miller, Gerald Kotsia, Keshav, Lungi, as well as KG. So guys will be missing out Makala, Andrich, spinners in Shamsi, Bjorn, and Riza. Makala, no, he's not available for tomorrow.
He'll be available for selection from the second game.
Sorry, Lucy, by my count, that's only 10.
Is it
You're missing one. You stopped at KG.
Lungi.
KG, Lungi?
KG, Lungi.
Marco.
So it's Marco and Gerald in the order.
Yeah.
Marco and G,
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. On that note, that concludes today's press conference. Thank you very much for joining us, to those both in the room and online. Just a reminder for Australia's press conference at 1:45. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Temba.
These stories taken totally